Hi, how are you everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Valterra gray water valve. So you could be replacing just your seals, maybe just the hardware, but today we're actually replacing the whole thing. So we're going to have new hardware because ours was rusting out, and also new seals because we were having a little bit of leaks. So if that's something that you guys are having problems with, this is the video for you. We're going to go over the whole entire swap together. So this right here is going to be your replacement gray water valve. It's going to have a diameter of 1.5 inches, so make sure that it is the right size for your setup. We have other different sizes here at eTrailer, so if it is a different size, we gotcha. We got all the parts you need. And even if you don't need to replace the whole entire thing, we have replacement parts for everything you see here, and that's always a plus. We have a nice little handle which is going to engage and disengage the valve to shut off or turn on that water flow to let it flow out. So if you get the whole entire replacement, it's all going to be made of plastic. We are going to get our nuts and bolts with it, and of course we're going to get the seals too, and that's always a plus. These are going to fit the Bladex, Valterra, Bristol, and Ananda valves, so don't really have to worry about cross-compatting different brands. This works just as good as all the other ones. There's a couple different reasons why I'm changing out this valve. One, Jake told me that it was leaking and the seals weren't really holding up. So instead of just replacing just the seals and the screws, we did the whole entire thing, and we're gonna go over that with you now. So first things first, we need to remove our valve. And to do that, we're just gonna need a 3/8 inch wrench and socket to loosen these up. So we had a little bit of an issue. Another reason why we're kind of switching this out, all of our heads on our bolts snapped off. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just take a little punch. You can take anything that's gonna fit in that hole and just give it a good little tap, and it's gonna break loose real easy. Ideally, look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna do that for all of them, and then we can go ahead and take this valve out. So when we're gonna be replacing our seals, the nice thing about it is when we do get the seals, we don't have to drive these back in. Obviously these are completely unusable because they're all seized up and stuff. So I'm gonna get those out later, but now the nice thing is our seals are bad, but we can replace them really easily, and it does come with the hardware. So we can replace both of them all in one go around, which is nice. So all you really need to do is take the new seals, just put them in there. I mean, it's really that easy. It's gonna be the same exact thing for the front and the back, and check that out. Pretty much done deal. So everything's really working fine. I didn't have any leakage or anything like that, so I can just go ahead and use the new hardware to reinstall this valve. So now with all of our new stuff, shouldn't have any leaks or anything like that. Line it all up. Oh yeah. And put our hardware through just how it was before, just new stuff. And what I like to do is put them all in, get them all lined up, and then I like to go through there and tighten them all down separately, but kind of going from one to the other. So meaning I'll put this nut on here, I'll kind of tighten it down almost to the bracket there, and then I'll do like a star pattern. So I'll tighten this one down, then this one down, then this one, then this one. That way we're not going to be putting that seal under any weird angle. It's not going to get smushed. It'll just help everything go nice and smooth. So with the new hardware, we are going to have a 8mm and a 10mm, whichever kind of tools you need to get it done. I'm just using a wrench and a socket, but let's go ahead and I'm going to tighten one up, not all the way, and then tighten the one back here up in that star pattern, kind of like the lug nuts on your truck. car, motorhome. Now that everything is all secured down, the lever is moving, there's a little bit more of a seal there, and we don't have any drippage coming out from underneath, so everything's nice and sealed up, and now we're good. Well, everyone, I hope this video kind of just helped you with the installation process, whether you just wanted to get a closer look at the valve itself, or if you wanted to stick around a little bit longer, I actually go and answer a couple of my co-workers' questions about the valve, so definitely check that out.
Did you know right away that this was where it was leaking? I mean, I would assume that this is going to be the culprit of most, like the most common points of leakage, or did you have to actually look around to figure it all out?
Oh, no, you'll know. You'll know whether it's like down here at the where the two pipes smash that valve. That'll be one, or if it starts coming out right here. And usually, it's not that difficult. I mean, obviously, do it on a dry day. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to go over there like just sniff everything around to see if it's rain or not. You know what I mean? So do it on a dry day or when everything's dry. But yeah, you'll be able to see, obviously, piping and stuff. Like, there's a bunch of fittings, you know, all around here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 different sealed pieces together on the pipe. And then there's the seams for the valve. But you'll be able to see that. I didn't have to search around to answer your question.
The handle on that valve, is it going to break off? I know that's a dumb question because who knows, and I guess it could, but it will. It will.
It will. I've seen it. I've seen it all the time. So that is why, if that happens to you, especially if you're in, let's say you don't have a cover and your valve's like this, so it's exposed, it sees a lot of sun, and then it also sees a lot of cold. You know what I mean? It's eventually going to crack and it will eventually break. I'm not saying it might not. The one that comes with it, it will eventually break.
Yeah, the one we took off, it was looking pretty harsh. And I think that kind of lends to the whole thing of just replacing it all at one time because, yeah, your seals may be, like, bad now, and it may be, like, half and half for the full thing. But why wouldn't you just do it all at one time and then have a fresh new setup for the valves?
I agree. But if you have a brand new valve, let's just say Jake comes over here and just whop, breaks it. Grab this. So this is a metal one. Can't really hear it, but it's metal, trust me. So this will solve that problem, and then the rod is metal too. But one thing I have seen, what you have to do is, it's kind of difficult. So on the ones that, on the ones that I took off, I couldn't even get the knob to turn because it was just as old as the hardware, and the hardware was rusted away horribly. So it was really, really seized up. If you're really dead set on keeping that valve and you don't want to spend the extra couple bucks to get the whole assembly, go for it. But this one's a little bit easier, but you have to get a tool. I use a vise or channel locks to just hold it in place and then twist it off. So on all the replacement knobs, they're going to be threaded on the inside. And the nice thing about this is these are all plastic, so all the threads are plastic. On the other one, though, for some reason, it looked like it had like a little metal insert in there. But that was, I'm not sure what brand that one was that we took off. It was pretty old. But they're all standard. You don't really have to worry about matching up the right pitch or whatever. They just thread right on and come right off.
So that's just an accessory part that we sell, or replacement part, that handle?
Yeah, so if you do have the problem with this breaking, we have a solution. It's this, which won't break.
Yeah, I'm 100% positive I would break the plastic one. Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
We almost broke it.
yeah, I almost did.
And it's the gray water valve has the gray handle, and the black water has the black handle, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
I think that's...
You can replace it with whatever you want. I mean,
Yeah,
you really don't care.
See, it's in
So
there.
It's in there.
There's not a difference functionally or anything.
No, not really.
Right, it's the rule of thumb.
I would suggest, though, getting the metal one for the black water because this seal is so much more intense than the other one. So much tighter, which is good. Just
Yeah, that's good.
That's,
Yeah.
you know, I don't have to
It's
say
holding
it.
back the floodgates.
Yeah. But yeah, so we have a bunch of different knobs, replacement knobs. So yeah, if your knob breaks, we have replacements for exactly what it is. But then you have also these kind, which is actually what was on the other ones, where it has the little fitting on the inside. So this will rust out, and it did on the ones that I replaced. So if that is you, just spend the extra little bit of money to redo the whole entire valve. I mean, you're taking it off anyway, so just replace it. But we have all sorts of different little knobs. So some of them are plastic. The ones that come with them are plastic. These have the little inserts in them with threads. And then the metal one's obviously just metal. It doesn't have an insert in it. It's just metal. So that's cool.
When you get in there to replace the valve, is it typical that you're going to find other things that maybe need maintenance as well, or is this just kind of a one and done thing?
It's one and done. It really is. It really is. So like, for instance, if you guys like over here, I mean, you basically have this curved pipe which goes up a size, and then it has that plate, and that's one piece. So that's all sealed up leading up to there, and then it just is in. Then there's the valve, and then on the other side we have the little like plate converter piece, and then the pipe. So basically, it's just two of the pipes just clamping down over this. So this is literally all that's in there. And then, of course, within that the valve, there's just these two rubber seals. Like that's the only thing on the inside of there. Yeah, so no, not really. I mean, unless you have a cracked tube or something like that, but then you got a lot bigger problem. You know what I mean? The valve's not going to do anything for you.
Okay, so this is probably the easiest maintenance that you can do for this anyway. You don't have to cut any pipe and reseal or anything like that. It's just bolt in and you're good.
No, that's why I'm just saying do it all.
Yeah.
Go for it. It's like if you're doing brakes on your truck, you know what I mean? It's like, are you just going to do the back brakes, or are you going to do all of them, or, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're in there, do it.
You can tell and see whenever there's a problem,
Yeah.
and you can tell and see whenever any of the bolts are corroded or it's starting to look grody. I think that's one of the good things about it is you'll definitely be able to tell when you need to change it.
Yeah, you have stuff dripping on your driveway, or else.
I guess one thing that it's kind of simple, but it's a pretty when you pull it, it's pretty smooth. It doesn't kind of wiggle around. You don't have to give it a lot of force to push and pull it.
Yeah, here, let me grab something real quick. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. I mean, like this is like the valve. I mean, you just have your seals that go in on the ring here and there. I mean, it's just in and out. It's very, very simple. Very simple gate. But yeah, it's the easy. It's just like a little door. I mean, that's basically all it is. Just in, straight out. That's it. So, not a whole lot to it. Not very, very mechanically advanced. It's not difficult at all. It's just a valve. You have like there's the valves that are like a ball with holes in them, and you like to kind of twist it, or then you got this kind of a valve, and that's what we're using. But yeah.
Do you think there's any easier products to install, or is this about the easiest one you've done?
If there's something that's easier than this, someone needs to bring it to me, because I don't really think it's possible. I mean, that's just me. I mean, if it is simpler and it works just as well, then kudos. But I don't see that even being a possibility, just because it's 4 bolts.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any other questions, you guys can always email me. We're going to be doing this stuff all day. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming out. And that's going to do it for our look at the Valterra RV Waste Valve. And I'm Adam with eTrailer.